Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, episode 149, in Studio L-Town, with Chris Maines. Hi, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Jason Green.
What's your middle name?
John.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever knew that.
Oh, well, there you know.
Chris
Everybody knows now.
John. What's your social security number?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Almost got it. Almost got him.
Right.
You tap into that hashtag Chris money.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Chris is broke. He bought a car. He bought a drive shaft. You know,
That Livermore water's good.
You like that?
Yeah.
Bourbon water?
No, that was actual water that I drank.
Fire water.
It
Well,
was
that is
good.
good water.
It was good water.
It's filtered, yeah.
Oh, is it? You got like a reverse osmosis system?
I don't know. Whatever's built into my fancy refrigerator.
Oh, yeah, you probably do. That refrigerator is pretty fancy. It doesn't make square ice, though. You need to get the one that makes square ice.
It actually has 2 ice makers.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Does it really? Because one's not enough.
It has one upstairs and one downstairs.
Wow. Okay. But how does it make ice in the refrigerated section?
I don't know.
It's just one of those things
magic.
you just don't know. It's magic.
It's just fucking magic.
Isn't that funny?
I don't know.
I remember somebody asking because I've got one of those indoor, and it makes like 4 cubes of ice. It's stupid.
I know. I always
It's a small amount.
Turned it off on me because I used to steal. All
Yeah, it's a small amount since I got the ice maker outside, and I don't have the, hashtag Chris money to have 2 ice makers in my refrigeration system. But yeah, I had somebody like, how does ice come out of the door and that's the refrigerator? I'm like, well, it's
it just does.
Cold air in it just happens.
It just does magic.
There's a little gnome in there, Jack Frost, that just creates super cold.
You know what's going on right now? Snail Trail boys are like researching it to fucking come up with an answer right now.
How's a refrigerator?
The next episode on Snail Trail 4x4. How do ice makers work?
No, it's all good. Hey, did you hear on the latest one? Jimmy was complaining he was hurting just from sleeping. Welcome to our world.
I know, right? He's like, well, I had a heavy blanket on my ankle. It's like, are you kidding?
Well, I hate to inform you, Jimmy, but it keeps getting worse. You wake up in the morning, and then first you just check to see if you're alive first, and then second, what's hurting today.
That's right.
And then you just muster up as much gumption as you can to put your feet on the floor and start the day.
And then when your wonderful wife, decides to take out an insurance policy on you, then you need to start worrying.
When they raise a life insurance policy.
It's like, hey, honey, I didn't know I had an insurance policy. Oh, you're not supposed to know about that, dear.
No. $500,000? What?
$500,000? Shit.
Well, hey, so I'm on my way back from racing.
Yeah, you had a great weekend.
Yeah, where were you?
I was working.
We had a seat saved for you.
I know.
Everybody was asking for you.
I know. It's a typical story.
Where's Chris? Well, I did get away because I was tired of people asking where you were. And I just would shrug my shoulders and say, well, he was supposed to come today, but he drives a Dodge, and I just left it at that.
Oh, man.
And everybody's like,
really?
well, I get it.
Chris is spring, and Chris works in an industry where spring is sprung.
Spring has sprung. You're short employees, so if anybody's looking for a job, come contact Chris.
I'm looking for a mechanic.
Actually, yeah, I was going to say, why don't you just advertise it?
Hey, if anybody has any experience with electronics, hydraulics.
Not heavy electronics, though. Hydraulics is a big one.
Hydraulics.
Diesel motors. Small diesel motors.
Small gas engines.
2 strokes.
DM Jason or email me at Chris@Wheeling Wine and Whiskey.
Well, there you go. And bonus points if you have extra experience with torques. Big torques.
Yeah. No, I mean,
now if I was near the soundboard, I would have hit the you can't handle the torques button, but you're falling down on the job. You're so far away from the no. See. That was good. We played that one a lot during the Jay Berry episode. Right. that was very fitting for that episode.
It certainly was. Well, definitely hit me up. I'm hiring. If you're in the Walnut Creek area, I'm definitely hiring. So,
well, there you go.
All right. We mentioned my Dodge being broken down because, one of the excuses that you used for me not being
Wait, your Dodge is broken down?
It actually is. Well, it's a runner. It just has a Bluetooth front drive.
It's just
line.
a SEMA. It's a SEMA build now.
It's a SEMA build. That's
Full
right.
SEMA build.
So we mentioned in a
Bluetooth
previous
front drive
episode.
shaft.
We mentioned in a previous episode that having a rumble and hearing a squeak coming from the front of my truck, and I was trying to diagnose what it was, and finally, this past week I had a little bit of time. I crawled under the rig and I removed my front drive line. And boy, am I glad I did.
And the squeak went away.
Then I took it for a drive, and the squeak was gone, and the rumble was gone.
Wow!
No more rumble in the jungle.
Well, there you go.
So you and I walked out to the garage before we started recording, and you had a chance to check out the drive shaft.
Your shafts.
The shafts.
Yes.
And
one black one and one rusty one.
10-year-old rusty drive shaft.
I got to say, the black shaft looked a lot better.
Wow.
And a little bit bigger.
But
but yeah,
we're going south.
What? You lose your train of thought?
No, I didn't.
So it was interesting. Well, one, as I mentioned before, I just found it in this day and age, it's interesting that the shaft, your drive shaft spins, front drive shaft spins all the time.
All the time.
Live.
All the time. It does not have a front axle disconnect. I guess they started doing that front axle or center axle disconnect. I guess they started doing that the next model year.
Okay.
And there's no locking hubs on my truck.
But there's an aftermarket kit you could put on.
There is an aftermarket kit.
But we have problems with that.
Well,
I'm like, why don't you put that kit on? Well, why don't you put that kit on, Chris?
Well, because I don't want to change my wheels right now.
Because you got fancy black wheels.
Yeah, I like black stuff.
And it wasn't, and it just didn't. You would have had to change wheels because the hub wouldn't fit through.
Yeah, I'd have to change wheels, so the no spin kit. So I had a lot of people were shouting out at me. I had Carlos from TAC One Fab mentioned.
I saw him yesterday.
Yeah, you did. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then Chris Ray was also
saw him yesterday too.
You saw Chris Ray?
No, just kidding.
He has a new RV apparently.
Does he?
Yeah, he's posted a picture of a house in the front of his driveway.
Good for him.
Mobile house.
That's cool.
Congratulations on getting something that guzzles a shit ton of gas when gas prices.
Yeah, I'm sure the prices have dropped a little bit.
So they all chimed in to get this no spin kit from Yukon Gear and Axle.
Yeah, Yukon.
And so I looked into it, and Chris was kind enough to contact a representative from Yukon to get confirmation on the wheel situation. Cool. And he's like, yeah, anything, because my truck's a 2012 and I do not have my original wheels anymore. I upgraded to the wheels that are on my truck now are from a 2017.
Yeah.
They're takeoffs.
Okay.
So they are one piece that you cannot remove that center cap. So it's a no-fly zone. It's a no-go. And I'm not in
I'm sure a Sawzall would fix that.
Saw a router, whatever. Mm-hmm. But so, I mean, the Yukon Gear, it's cool, and I would love to do it. It's like $1,800. But then I'd be looking at probably another $2,000 for wheels.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
it just spirals out of control.
If I was an upgrade, I'd probably go to something like the Vision 19.5s or something like that.
Look at that.
I don't know. I mean, this is all futuristic shit. But anyway, I mean, I'm glad I found the problem. Because I'm reading on the forums, Dodge forums and whatnot. Apparently, when these drive shafts, it's common because they spin all the goddamn time that they fail.
Yeah,
and catastrophically sometimes.
Well, sure, and then it could pole vault you.
And it's right under my ass.
Case.
That'd be horrible.
Yeah,
take out the transfer case, the transmission, all sorts of cooling lines. There's a lot of shit under there.
Yeah, there is.
And so anyway, I'm glad I found it. Glad I pulled it out. Glad I have a new one. I'll find time. Maybe tomorrow, if it's not raining. It's supposed to rain tonight.
Supposed to rain. We actually might have some precipitation. And I read like Google, when I open up Google on my phone, and then it gives like headlines for your area, and it's like major storm for the Bay Area, and it's like, where we're at, like 3/4 of an inch.
I think they're saying 4/10 up here.
So 4/10.
It looks like it's going to go more south than north.
Oh, really? Is it coming up from the south?
I think it's kind of going from north to south.
Oh, there's your weather update.
Looks like, Southern California.
By the time this podcast airs, it already have happened. So we'll give you an update of the next podcast.
Don't trust us for weather forecasts.
It's not good to listen to a podcast for weather reports. Let me just tell you that right now.
If you're listening to this in 2025, we thank you for listening to us in 2025. But anything that revolves around weather or race results, it doesn't matter.
No, Fugazi Fugizzi. So that's good. So, and you bought it from a online drive shaft store because you're going to take your old one to Steve at South Bay Driveline.
That's correct.
And have him put new U-joints in it, rebalance it, and you'll have a spare drive shaft.
Yep.
There you go.
So, yeah, I mean, so I bought it from a store called driveshaftstore.com. Very well reviewed. They've got 4 warehouses throughout the United States. And I saw this thing was $500 and it was, I ordered it on the 24th, so Wednesday, and it showed up on my door yesterday, Saturday.
And there was no core charge.
No core charge.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Free shipping. I had to pay a little bit of tax, so it was like $530 or something like that, delivered. So,
and it looks, I mean, it's 100% weight and everything of your stock drive shaft.
Yep.
If you were to have Steve make you up one, it would probably be a little bit beefier, but it would be quite a bit more money than that. I would assume, but it would be worth it. It'd be bulletproof, but gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm just happy to be able to. I mean, the truck operates. I drove it after I took the shaft off to confirm that the shaft was the problem.
Probably picked up a half mile per gallon
or something. So. Anyway, but it's just it'd be nice to have 100% again because we're getting into the traveling season for getting the camper on there and towing and going places.
Towing and going.
Unless fuel prices continue to climb, and then we'll reevaluate that scenario. But yeah, I'm happy with the service so far. I'm going to get this thing bolted up, and then I'll take it for a spin, and I'll let you know.
All right, sounds good. Well, good. Kudos for finding the problem and fixing it, giving it the shaft.
It was freaking me out, man.
Freaking me out. Yeah, that squeak.
Well, the squeak, and then of course that rumble. I get up to the freeway, 65, 70, and I'm like, the hell is that rumble?
Oh man, yeah, that's not good.
And I like anybody, you're going to crawl under the rig and you're going to start looking at shit and seeing what's going on. And I got under there and I was working, trying to see if there's any play in the shafts, and,
right? And
they were tight, but that centering pin or centerpiece, what do they call that? The center.
So you have a CV
by the transfer case,
constant velocity joint, and so you've got 2 U-joints there, right. And then you've got this ball and socket,
correct?
That's in the center, and that ball and socket was dry,
right,
and squeaky.
Yep. Oh, it's squeaky, all right. So I watched a YouTube video on how to do that. You can get the parts, but did you get your
YouTube certified mechanic patch
I did.
Put on your jacket?
I did. Goddamn, yeah, I did. You know it. But what they don't get into is that I could rebuild it, but I can't rebalance it in my garage.
Right.
And then the fact that it spins all the time.
Well, sure, yeah,
needs to be balanced.
Balance your shaft.
So
shaft should always be balanced.
Absolutely. And it's a little. I mean, the front drive line on my Wrangler is built by South Bay Driveline.
Yeah,
and it's taken some hits.
Oh yeah,
and it's holding up well.
Yeah, the buggy, Jeep, all that stuff is got all that. Right on. He actually, I get thinking back. He did the one on my my old F-350 as well.
Yeah,
rear drive shaft.
I remember you said you pulled the drive lines on that and had them rebuilt. So. Like at 160,000.
It had a lot. It was well over 100,000 miles.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, that's good.
So Driveline Tech chat line is here. If you have any questions about drivelines, you can send Jason an email at jason@wheelingwinewhiskey.com or Chris. I don't know shit. Well, send it to Jason.
Go, yeah.
If you want to talk to him directly, you can go 408-800-5169.
Ooh, that reminds me. We do have a voicemail.
Oh, shit.
I haven't heard it yet. I have no idea. So we can see how this goes.
All right. Well, we'll
Should we do it now?
Oh, what the hell?
Are we done with drive shaft talk?
Well, we talked about my big shaft, so yeah.
All right. Well, let's see how this goes. All right. I don't know. Okay, here it is. Okay. I'm bringing it up. And I'm going to hit play and crank that up. Okay, here we go.
Hello!
Oh, no.
My name is Matt Foley, and I am a motivational speaker. That's like I always do, and I noticed some things I'd like to address. You had a good friend of mine who's racing on there named Jason Barry.
Oh, no.
Jason is a dear friend, and he's just great at what he does. But he's not a motivational speaker. However, I do hate that you're hating on the golf carts all the time because they're a damn good time. So, please lay off the golf carts because you think you're little Mr. Funny Man over there with your podcast. Okay?
We got a little Bill Cosby on us.
Because if you keep it up, you'll probably end up living in a van down by the river.
Oh, shit.
Oh, absolutely classic. We have been wanting him to call back in, and there it is. That's freaking awesome. Matt Foley, Keen the Heezy baby. That is so good.
You never know what you're going to get here with Wheeling Wine.
I love it. Yeah, he called last Thursday.
Wow.
So this is timely.
So he doesn't like us making fun of golf carts.
No, apparently not. Well, he lives in a van down by the river. I don't know.
Golf carts.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'll tell you, at that Prairie City race, those golf carts, there was some angry, I said this, it's like angry bees, man. They were just buzzing all around that track. But, well, thank you, Matt, for calling in. And please, feel free to give us a call. And, if you know some celebrities that would like to call in, like Matt Foley, just give them the number, 408-800-5169. What?
Just 408-800-5169.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do it too fast for you?
No.
Oh. Well, I didn't know what you were thinking about.
So have you been banging and clanging on any of your junk or no?
No. Mm-mm.
No,
I've been very, it's been tough for me to take it easy, man, because I have so many projects I want to do, and I'm like, oh, I could, I've got some time to do it.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, let's do it. And then I'm like, no, that's like way too heavy. And then you got to move this and that. And I'll tell you what I did purchase here that's been long time irritating the F out of me. Lance, hashtag Lance Life.
Yeah.
The taillights on my camper.
Oh, yeah. They've been a problem.
And I was the first model year of, this floor plan that I have. And I don't know, they put these god awful, they stick out from the back of the camper like freaking 2 inches, and they're 9.5 by 9.5 inches.
Oh, yeah. The big ones that are
big
up
old
high.
freaking, yeah, they're huge, and they're mounted on the top of the, or up camper, and it's fine.
Can you pass me the Hancock's Reserve?
What? That one? You going, that's big. That's a big boy drink. Okay. You asked for it.
All right. Anyway, go ahead. So your lights.
So it's the tail lights. So they were incandescent. I converted them over to an LED replacement bulb.
Right. And you were having issues.
Yeah, we're good, but they're still having issues with this. The wiring of this, it's just a very poorly designed, and it's, housing. And so I cobbled some stuff up, but it made it work for a couple more years. But I'm done. I'm over it because the last few trips I've had like no running light on that side, and then the turn signal's intermittent and whatever. So anyways, I did have time to research and look, and I found a light I really liked, but it was a little smaller, but it was clear.
Okay.
But it did, it did your running light, red running light. It had your blinker, and then it had a backup light, but it was all clear in appearance. And so, you okay?
So good.
Okay. So I go, that's cool, but I need to find something that kind of fits that area because, it's going to leave a mark, right? It's been 19 years.
Oh, that's going to leave a mark.
That's going to leave a mark. So I pulled the old one off, and it actually not as bad as I thought. I'm going to have to, silicone a couple holes.
Right?
Yeah, tiny hole. There's 4 holes, and I'm it's going to fit in that footprint, but smaller. It's like 7.5 inches. But anyway, super flat. I mean, the thing's like not even half-inch thick.
Okay.
And e-trailer.
Oh yeah, e-trailer.
Yeah, I was looking on. There was some stuff on Amazon, but it was hokey, and I'm like, no. And then I found these on e-trailer, and I'm like, okay, this is legit. And e-trailer's great. I gotta say, I don't know. I'm assuming it's an auto-generated message, but it feels personal. It's like,
yeah,
hey, Jason, it's been a while since you've ordered. Welcome back.
Your credit card's no good anymore.
No. Welcome back, and glad if you have any questions about what your tile lights you just purchased, please feel free to reach out. And they give a number and an email and business hours, and I'm like, well, that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. No, I love E-Trailer. I buy a lot of stuff from E-Trailer.
Yeah.
There's 2 vendors I trust, E-Trailer and Tweeties.
Yeah, and Tweeties is the other one. I forgot about Tweeties.
Love Tweeties.
Oh, now watch. I'm going to go on Tweeties and find some better. No, I really like this will be a lot better. So those should be tomorrow or the next day at my house, and then I could wire those in, and that's something I can do. And I had my doctor's appointment, and she was super happy with the progress and said, hey, you can start doing more stuff, and gave me clearance for skiing. So bye.
Ooh.
Gotta go. Adios.
No, the resorts are shut down. There's no snow.
Bye, Chris.
All right, this is Chris's show now, so we're just going to talk about I don't know, propeller hat shit. Let's talk about ham radios. Hey, Tyler's on the line.
No. Hey, I'm back. We can't do that. We can't do that. Stop. Hard stop.
So, well, cool. That's good, because I know when we trade off who's leading when we're on our caravans up to wherever, and I'll be like on the radio, hey, your lights are out. Hey, your lights are out. And it's
just like a latte machine.
Yeah, right? Oh, that turned out to just be a bat. Dude, this
what is that? I don't even I couldn't follow all that. So what is going on?
Super good.
Oh, I know. I've had it before.
You're eyeballing that Black Label. Stay away. That's an endangered species.
You know what I do want to do? I will do it. Just a tiny splash of this because I haven't had this in a while.
Dude,
that's not old. It's Hancock's President's Reserve bourbon, single barrel, 88.9 proof. So yeah, we bought this a while back, but you know who produces this?
It's no.
Buffalo Trace.
Oh, Buffalo Trace.
You know who produces Blanton's?
Buffalo Trace?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You know who does Pappy's?
Probably Buffalo Trace.
There you go. So a lot of good stuff out there in the Buffalo Trace distillery. We need to make it out there one of these.
If you can find it.
If you can find it. I had some Blanton's the other night.
I missed out on that.
It was very good. My uncle, we had a little pizza party, and we were doing a little bourbon tasting, and somebody brought up Blanton's. And I'm like, and he goes, I never tried Blanton's. I'm like, what?
Wow.
I cracked open a brand new bottle, cracked the wax seal.
Oh, I'm going to have to come down. Oh, I'll be down there Tuesday night.
It's just, and there's just it doesn't even look like it's open. I mean, we just took little tasters out of it, but it's open.
We'll have to enjoy that on Tuesday.
But it's under lock and key because Lorenzo, I didn't want to leave him home alone with a Blanton's bottle.
So we got pretty derailed about lights and this latte machine and
no. So talk about the latte machine. Do you? I don't know what happened with.
I'm not sure.
2 batteries.
I texted back and forth with Rodney. So I guess the newer Jeeps have 2 batteries. One's because it has that start stop.
So annoying.
Which my wife's Cherokee has. Which I hit the override button every time I drive it. But I guess his primary the big battery, which comes as a gel cell from the factory, sounds like it was depleted or wasn't charged, or I don't know. I don't think that Jeep's not very old, is it? 2-3 years maybe.
He's had it for a little while.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess there's a small battery that keeps juice. I don't know. Maybe a listener knows more about it, but he says he swapped out his AGM. And everything seems to be functioning now. So
it was the smaller battery, not the starting battery.
No, it was the big battery.
Oh, it was the starting battery.
It was the big battery. Yeah, the starting. So I think I could be wrong, but he was having problems with his trailer lights when we were coming back from KOH. We left at the butt crack of dawn.
They were working at 5 a.m. when we left camp, and then they weren't.
But then they weren't when we got out on the old
highway,
Woman Road there or whatever. It wasn't working.
Woman Springs,
and he was fighting those things even out when we were at the gas station in Boron. He was struggling with those things. So. Which I don't understand, because if he's driving, obviously he's charging, and the battery should be. If you're driving for multiple hours, you got to think your battery's going to be topped off.
Yeah,
I would think. But electrical things, and especially in these new vehicles,
any voltage that gets below like 11 volts, things start freaking out, man.
Freaking out, man. So
yeah, it doesn't like low voltage.
My Wrangler doesn't seem to care.
No, it doesn't care. My Jeep doesn't care.
Your Jeep, you hand cranked that.
Yeah, that's right. Hand crank it. That 383 stroker. Watch out for that kickback on that hand crank.
Oh, baby. That's why your wrist.
Have you ever hand started like a Model T Ford or anything?
Negative Ghost
You
Rider.
haven't?
No.
That's crazy, and it will. You got to watch the kickback because it is on like this little sprocket deal, and it'll. But you get it to that point, just past the compression, and then give it the old whoop-hows, and then there she goes.
How about those guys that spin propellers on airplanes?
Well, there's another one. I haven't done that. That would be kind of that's on a bucket list. I'll put that on my bucket list. That'd be kind of fun.
Good luck with that. Run away. Fuck, that's a whole new level. Where does arm go? Shit, don't. You'd be all right. Just roll around on the ground. Get a tourniquet on that.
Medic.
Holy smokes! All right, we've been knocking.
So anyways, so that's I need to talk to Rodney because I want to find out more about that because it's always just intriguing to me of how some of these newer vehicles are put together, and you open the hood and all you see is plastic and wires and hoses, and it's like you're trying to find the spark plug.
Too many computers,
and an exhaust port or something just to orientate yourself, and sometimes you can't even find that. So all right, well, I'll find out. Let's find out about that, but I'm sure some of our listeners have experienced that or know exactly what's going on there.
Well, he posted that picture and I thought the latte machine was broken.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I just glanced barely at my IG this morning.
He posted and said, no soft tops this weekend. So
no lavender soft tops.
Nope, no negative ghost, negative Ghost Rider. So yeah, we've been kind of chattering on about, but let's talk about the main event. I should have been up there, but you were up there at the NorCal Rock Races.
Yeah.
Prairie City. Sounds like it was a good time that I missed out on.
It really was. Friday, I was planning on getting out there. Didn't make it out there. It just wasn't in the cards. I just wanted to go, see some people were setting up, doing a little practicing, and a lot of people like Justin Hall and D Mill, and then we're up there, and the Peak boys, and of course, some of the big names were there, Cody Addington and the Gomez's, and,
right.
So it's cool. And then you got a lot of just, local boys with garage builds and just having fun. And
was car 518 there?
Car 518, paging car 518. Who is that?
That's Kevin Jones.
Oh, that's right. X-Racer Kevin Jones.
Ultra 4 Jones.
There he is.
Was he in the house?
No.
Oh.
No, he was working on a 7.3 or doing something. I don't know. Or rebuilding an Isuzu, Suzuki Sidekick.
Sure.
I don't know.
He's trying to hypermile his daily.
Oh, and then hypermile the daily. Hypermiling.
It says he's getting like 50-something miles a gallon. I call bullshit.
I call bullshit. That's a high level of bullshit right there. Was he live it's downhill both ways from his house to the work and from work back to his house? How's that work?
The odometer's broken.
Is there a strong tailwind, or
he's being towed by a Ford.
Is he on bicycle tires?
I don't know. I call bullshit.
I don't know. We got to find out about that.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Anyways, that was an interesting episode on Snail Trail, the hyper miling.
Yeah, I heard one of the things. I listened to that.
There was
episode,
totally some unrealistic stuff.
But one of the things one of the things I heard about people that drive Priuses, Prius, is a lot of these hypermiling Prius drivers.
Wait. Time the fuck out. Our last podcast we talked about golf carts.
I know.
Golf cart driver. Now you're mentioning Priuses.
Well, sorry, but I'm just going to mention a hypermiling philosophy real quick.
There goes our ratings.
I know, we're going to hell. Wow.
All right, go ahead.
You put the gun down,
I'm
dude.
putting up.
Really? No, they say to drive like you have an egg between your foot and the pedal. That's how gentle you're supposed to drive when you're hypermiling.
That's exactly how all my four-wheeling friends drive. Like really? Amber and, Ultra 4 Jones. I've seen him drive very gingerly like that.
Oh, yeah, right.
And Samurai James.
I think you're confused.
Tom Walters. Let's see, who else is
Tom Walters break right shit every
foot.
Time I go out. Tom Walters.
Oh my God! Drive like there's an egg between your foot and the pedal.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's enough of that nonsense.
Well, it did. They did confirm that if you like accelerate quick and then you just cruise, was more efficient than if you do like slow, like you're getting up to 35 miles an hour. It's better to just not hammer off the line, but increase quickly up to the 35 and then stay.
Well, hammer as
35.
fast as a Toyota pickup can.
Well, that's true, and that's the other thing that's relevant to this whole thing. It's like if you've got a hot rod V8, 383 stroker, that thing's going to burn some fuel if you hammer down on that thing.
Exactly.
I don't know. Anyways,
or if you have a tow rig and you're towing 17,000
I think the big takeaway from that is have your car maintained. Make sure your tune-up is done. You got a clean air filter and it's running good and clean.
Yep.
Your spark plugs, if it has spark plugs, whatever.
Turn your performance mod off.
Yeah, take it out of performance, 100 horsepower mode. And tires properly inflated. And make sure your drive shafts are lubed up. I think other than that,
lube your shaft.
Yeah. Make sure it's all good. So
not just your balls, but your shaft.
No,
now.
that's for towing. This is not a towing episode. Well, it could be.
All right.
So, anywho, all right. So back to the race.
I just remembered one of the things I had an issue with when they said that you needed to be the drafting part of it, where they said you needed to be like a foot or two away from a big rig to get the drafting effect.
Yeah.
I remember watching an episode of Mythbusters where they did that, and they proved that
was Jesse Combs on that one?
No, it was that other hot chick. What's her name?
Yeah,
Carrie.
What's her name?
Carrie. Ooh, smoking hot. Anyway, but they said that they on the Mythbusters, so you can look this episode up. They proved that you could be pretty far back. Now, yeah, you lose the amount of effect you get the farther you are away from the big rig, but you can get an effect. I think if I remember correctly, they said up to a quarter mile away behind a big rig.
A quarter mile away?
They were still getting an effect from the big rig.
A positive mileage increase.
That's correct.
MPG.
So Mythbusters, I saw an episode, but yeah, I know they prefaced it, at least in the Snail Boys. They talked about you have
drafting.
to be super close, but you
shake and bake.
It doesn't get as good if you're farther back.
Interesting,
but something is better than nothing. I'm going to argue that.
Well, I would I'd buy that for $1.
I mean, I do it. I draft out behind big rigs when I'm towing heavy down the freeway. Yeah.
Oh. No, I keep my distance.
No, not like an inch off their bumper.
Like a quarter mile back drafting?
No, like, a few hundred feet.
Okay. Well, yeah, it is. It's interesting. And, with high fuel prices, everybody's trying to figure out a way to do a little, and it is, it makes you think twice about just hopping in your car to go somewhere,
for sure.
Truck for sure. And then if you've got the option of having a car or truck or something that, your mileage is better on, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to take that instead of taking the fun vehicle.
I noticed you didn't. I mean, the Mustang is better mileage than the
Actually,
truck.
Yeah, the Mustang is my best mileage vehicle.
And you're not driving.
Just cruising, keeping the foot out of it, driving with an egg between my foot and the gas pedal. I can get like 25 miles to the gallon out of that thing.
You should be driving
efficient.
that fucking thing.
Yeah. It's got two. Yeah.
I mean, you can throw a 24-inch box tree in the back and take it to your job sites and stuff.
Yeah. It'll work out real well. Real well. Anyways, so back to the race.
Back to the race, because this was an electric car race. All the cars were electric powered, and no fuel was burned.
There was no fossil fuels burned at all at Prairie City this weekend.
None.
It was super quiet.
Right.
No, it was great. Weather was awesome. So got out there Saturday morning. Our buddy Code got out there early and saved us spots of the law firm. Code and Olson.
Law offices of Code and Olson.
Yeah, and remind me to tie back in the whiskey that he brought for the after party. So he got out there early and got the easy up set up and prime location.
Yeah,
we're right in front of the rock pile.
They look great.
Yeah. And
although it was a 49er easy up.
I know. Jesse was sitting under it. I would go, hey, do you realize where that shade's coming from?
Oof. So much hate.
He pointed at me upwards with his middle finger. I don't know what that
He's giving you the bird.
The bird. Bird is the word. Have you seen that YouTube video with the bird?
I don't know. Maybe.
Want to see? No. Okay. Anyways, so we got there around 9:30ish. Brought him a breakfast burrito, and hung out and watched, the heats, and then walked around in the pit. So I immediately called Justin Hall because, I'd heard that his motor left the chat.
Yeah.
He let the smoke out.
You let the dogs out. No,
So
he had problems down at KOH with that motor, and
but it ran and he finished and he did well.
Right.
And then he rebuilt the motor after KOH.
Correct.
And was getting it ready for this race, and wasn't getting oil pressure right at the beginning, and then figured out the problem, got oil pressure, fired it off, put it in the trailer, took it out to Prairie City, made like half a lap, he said, and then she seized right up.
So I'm not really knowledgeable about motors, but I mean, I know that he posted a picture when we were at KOH of he had a crack in a cylinder.
It appeared to be a crack.
I thought that was fatal, pretty fatal.
Well, I mean, fatal if like fluid transfer is happening, like water's getting into the oil's getting into the water.
Well, you
got peanut butter in my chocolate.
Don't want to have a fluid transfer of fluids.
No, you don't. So, but he, I remember him saying that he wasn't real sure if that was and at that point, it's like, just send it, run it.
And he did.
It did. It held up for the race and did it. So, I forgot to ask him, what he found when he took that motor apart.
Well, obviously,
we'll just have to get him back on the podcast, I guess.
It wasn't as bad as it originally sounded.
No, so he rebuilt that motor and had it all ready to go. But anyways, it freaking sucks because he put all that time. He learned a lot, though. I mean, it was a learning experience, but time and money, and then got half a lap. So he was on his way out. He goes, dude, I'm loaded up. Truck's running. I'm ready to go.
Uh-huh.
And I said, hang on, we're heading up. So we all went up there, Samurai James, Lady Samurai, Code, myself, Walters, Taylor was there. So anyways, we went up in Austin and met.
Did you see the baby?
Justin. That was the weekend before I saw the baby. Taylor's baby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw Taylor's baby last weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Little nugget.
Yeah, they poop and pee a lot.
Didn't really cry. I was pretty impressed with that. Oh. Yeah, she was good. Anyways, so talked to Justin and he's like, yeah, I gotta go pick up this new motor. So he's picking up like a 410 stroker or something on the way out of town. So that's pretty cool. So hopefully that works out well. And so then we were up in the pits. So then I'm like, well, I got to go find email.
No replacement for displacement.
That's, yes, very well said. Robert from Winnemucca had that line, and I will never forget that. That is a great line. No replacement for displacement. So found email.
Yep.
His wife, Derek, and
Megan.
Yeah, and so they were working on he burned up a throttle cable. It went like full throttle during one of the heats and landed, and everything was okay, but the throttle cable was trash, so he's rebuilding that and got it to work. And so right next to him, to the right of him, was the Peaks, Alex and Jacob, and whole Peak Racing there.
Yeah, get them on the show.
They're great, exactly. Well, if you were there, we probably would have interviewed them, so get ready, boys. And then
we travel
to the left of Derek was Cody Addington. Heard of him?
I've heard of him. We got to get him on the show too.
Driving the old Red Dragon there, so that was cool. And then next to him was Ryder from with the frickin' from he's got the Ranger, the Ford Ranger,
Custom Chaos Racing.
Yeah, and he redid the whole front end. Oh man, it looked cool.
Cool.
Yeah, he beefed that thing up big time. He didn't make it out to KOH this past year. Does that still
have the twin traction beams, or is it?
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, but it's all beefed up now. I mean, it's legit.
Yeah.
So super cool, and unfortunately, he sheared off. I think he sheared off the wheel studs. He lost a wheel in his second heat.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it left the chat. Dude, there was so much carnage this race, and like,
dude, this short track, man,
that
they
guy
beat
that
the
used
fuck
to,
out of these
who's
things.
that guy
man?
that used to race Ultra 4? Ultra 4 Jones said that he doesn't like short course because it beats up the cars, and I'll tell you, it definitely validated his comment this weekend.
I'm not sure that Ultra 4 Jones has actually raced officially in a short track.
Well, he
race.
did. He did Wild West up there, Motorsports Park.
No, he didn't.
We did part of it. And he grenaded a rear end or gear or something.
Blew up his tranny.
Oh, tranny? Yeah, that's right.
Led all the way back to camp.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so it is brutal on cars, and they hit.
Kevin.
They hit that rock garden at just high rate. They don't downshift into low and let's go do spooners and all this other shit and rock crawl. No, this is rock launching.
Yeah, this is like Wild West Motorsport.
And with us being right across from the rock pile, I mean, it's you hear the diffs banging on rocks. You see the granite flying, the dust, and the rocks breaking off.
Do you guys have eye protection on?
You needed it, I swear. I mean, it was crazy. And one car, it was Miller. I can find his name. He freaking hit the rock so hard. I mean, we felt it. We felt it. I was just like, oh my God, that guy just lost his front. And sure enough, we could see oil coming out of the front diff.
And those things are built.
And this was a 60 front, I believe, Dana's 60 front, and it was built to the nines. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it was Mike Miller. Mike Miller.
Okay.
And
4800?
It was no. I knew you were going to ask that. I think it is a. No, you know what? I think it is a 4800 car. Okay. It is. I'm almost positive it's a 4800 car. Let's see. Let's look at the front steering. That would be some indication. Ooh, that just looks bad. So it's 3-link front, so and the
4800 can have full hydraulic.
I know. I'm just looking here. I think it is full hydro. So 3-link. The upper link was like at a 45-degree angle. Aluminum link.
That's not good.
And then the housing was cracked a little bit when you're looking from the driver's side, and it's like, ooh, that's not good. And you go over to the passenger side, and ooh, Chihuahua.
I think you're gonna need a little rod for that, and maybe some filler. And JB Weld, dude, I'm saying JB Weld, he'd be golden.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is bad. I mean, it's cracked the entire housing.
JB Weld and a ratchet strap, he's racing.
I'll post some pictures on IG. You know, the lower link on the driver's side, the bolt was sheared and bent. I mean, it was crazy. Look at this thing. It's just, oh my gosh. So anyways, that was just one part of the carnage there. Launching. Oh my God. I posted that on IG today with Cody Addington. Just did a full send. I did not see it. I was in the pits with D-Mill. And Cody came right back in because he was pitting right next to him. And everybody's like, dude, you got to change your underwear. How you doing? How's everything good? You know? And he's like, yeah, that was a wild ride. And so then I went back down to where, we were sitting, and Taylor had gotten the video. So I'm like, dude, frickin' send that to me right now. So that's where I got that footage.
Well, I saw that video, and I was just like, so my take on how that evolved was he got into the rock pile, and he just took an interesting. His front got launched, and he was on the throttle, thinking he was coming out of it. The rear hooked up, and he just
bounced,
revolved,
jackrabbited,
rotated. You know. It's like mission control. We're set for launch, And,
dude, that thing was more than a 45-degree angle.
Oh fuck, dude!
More than a 45-degree angle.
I was like, wow, that's scary.
So that's the cool thing about short course racing for a spectator is there is carnage. Everybody likes seeing the carnage on the track, as long as nobody gets hurt. And at Prairie City where we sit, we see like 75% of the track.
Okay.
So, and it's just, and you can hear them hitting rocks. I mean, you're not that close, but you're close enough to hear them hitting rocks and stuff
over the uncorked exhaust.
Exactly. And it's super cool. And there was a rollover, during the main that, I caught out of my peripheral vision. It was right by the start finish line. And, it was a hard roll, hard roll. But he was okay. They got the ambulance. He was checking him out. So as far as I know, he was okay. No major injuries there, but the car was effed up. Yeah. You talk about bent tube.
Really?
Yeah. And, man,
it was a 4400 car?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And there was just, like I say, the carnage out there is just insane. So if you race there and you didn't have any carnage, winning, hashtag winning, like the Gomez's, well, I take that back. During the main, the Gomez's were just battling it out. Darian, they were battling it out. Darian and JP.
Right.
And Unfortunately, I mean, that was good. They were going back. I mean, those cars are freaking fast. Those UFO cars.
Well,
my God. And so he got a flat, unfortunately. And
Darren did.
Yeah, he almost took out the promoter. John Goodby was standing on one of the big tractor tires at the start finish line, and he got squirrely there. And unfortunately, that was the end of his race. He had I'd say driver or passenger side rear. So right rear, we'll say, because there's no driver passenger. That's a single seat car.
Sure.
So, anyways, she gone.
No tire balls?
No tire balls. But it looked like the tire was cut from our vantage point, but I can't confirm or deny that. I didn't go back up to the pit to see. But anyways, so he was out of the main there, unfortunately, and then that rollover happened, and all this stuff is like, oh my gosh. So lots and lots of race action. I mean, even the golf carts were fun to watch. There's like 3 different classes of golf carts now.
So
I mean,
what
a
was
lot of golf carts out there.
Pro, stock, pro modified, or unlimited? I mean, what are the categories?
I think it's like a single rider, a double rider, and then like electric or gas golf cart,
They had electric ones?
Yeah.
Seriously?
No. There was an electric cart out there that Rugged Radio had, but they weren't racing it. I was joking, getting the golf reference, single rider, double rider. You work in the golf business still. You should still get that.
Not really.
Anyways, but according to Matt Foley, we're not supposed to be joking around about golf carts anymore.
Golf carts, they're funny. Like, what did you say? Angry mosquito?
It was like angry bees out there. It just sounded like a bunch of bees. Sounded like a beehive. Oh, it was just wow. A couple of those things were uncorked and moved. I mean, it was insane.
Oh, there's no question that some of those things. I mean, look at our friend Jesse. I mean, he's always touting or bragging on his 300 horsepower in his Can-Am, or 400, whatever he's up to now.
I don't know.
He might as well just give up and just get a big block V8.
I know. But anyways, it's that was cool. I mean, there was everything out there, and it was a blast. People were having fun walking around the pits. So then. Amber, Dolly, Eric, Sarah, Stuart was riding shotgun in a car. So got to see the whole Hannah family out there, almost the whole Hannah family. And then, like I say, Carlos from TAC 1 Fab was there. Uncle Ed was there.
Cool.
And then Anthony.
Who was the omelet guy at KOH? Was that Uncle Ed?
No, that was Tom.
Tom
Rosa. So Anthony was there with his 2 young boys, 3 years old-ish, somewhere in that range. And,
right.
And I didn't know he had kids.
Were they twins?
I don't know. They were cute little kids in a wagon checking out the race, having a good time.
Velcroed in.
Yeah. And then let's see. Gosh, we had a bunch of people. A bunch of Tom was there, and Austin and Taylor, and oh my gosh, I mean, we had quite the crowd. Cool. It was very, very cool. So, buzzing around the pits, and you're right. Just you walk right into the pits and talk with people when everybody's happy to see you and chatting it up, and then. We didn't know if we were going to be able to stay for the main, but things were moving pretty good. They kept the pace moving pretty good. Cool. And when cars broke down, they had a great all.
Oh, you're right. I saw the
forklift, right? 4-drive forklift. Come in, just fork the car and bring it right in. And that was the other cool thing, because the entrance on and off the track for the Great All and emergency personnel and workers and stuff, we were right by that road.
Right.
So we just got to see all the carnage coming off the track,
That's cool.
And I can't tell you how many golf carts I saw with a dangling front end, they're just breaking A-arms and shit. But really cool, good stuff. You got the results there you want to go through?
Yeah, let's go through the results.
We gotta say a little pre-qualifier here.
This is
so they're
unofficial.
Yeah, we're recording this the Sunday immediately after the race, and of course NorCal doesn't have anything up on their site yet. This is unofficial. This is what we cobbled from what I saw,
social media,
what we see on social media, which that's 100% accurate,
right?
And so this is what we got.
It's got to be true.
Yeah, it's got to be true.
We'll start with the golf carts, and all we know about golf carts, 4,900
suck. Oh no,
suck.
Sorry, I had to get that in there.
Bo Judge came in first on one of the categories of.
Well,
UTV.
and I think that was I think that was the top dog. I don't know. Somebody will correct it. That's a golf cart follower.
Okay.
Sorry, we're learning. We're trying. We're trying.
Well, no, we're not.
Okay. Well, we're trying.
So, all right, on to the 4,500 class.
There we go.
So we got
It's our people right there.
Jimmy and Amy.
Oh, that's Jimmy Jack.
Jimmy Jack.
Jimmy and Amy Jack. You can't read your own writing, and you
Amy
give me
Jack.
crap about my writing.
Right.
Oh boy!
It was first place, and then John Matthews.
And you're wearing your
second.
glasses. Okay.
We don't know who third was in 4,500.
We don't know. We don't know that.
All right, moving on. 4,600 class. We got John Snell,
Yep.
and then we don't know who came in second.
We don't.
We don't.
Do we know who came in third?
Ryder Mudwilder.
Yes.
Custom Chaos Racing.
Yeah.
With
That
the
was
Ford
cool.
Ranger.
So he got his wheel back on and was able to race a Bane. But dude, I tell you, I love the uniqueness, right? It's like, Amber and her Samurai and Ryder and the Ranger. I mean, those are just, it's like, well, they're just crazy, unique vehicles for racing. It's not what your first choice of, I'm going to go race
what you got.
a Ranger, but it's a race Ranger.
We're gonna send something in
Like
the
Lenny
Gambler.
with the Rock Ranger.
We'll send something in the Gambler one of these years.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, cool to catch up with Ryder, and congrats on your third there.
Absolutely. So then we go to the 4,800 class, EMC for some of the listeners.
Well, the whole thing's it's all EMC there. 45, 46,
48.
48.
So we got first place was Woody Rose.
Woody. Oh, dude. So I had to text Kevin Jones because I'm like, dude, there's 2 Nexon cars out here. And I'm like, and they're Trent Fab chassis. I mean, they're badass cars.
Right.
And I'm like, where'd they come from? I didn't know Nexon was sponsoring a couple cars,
other
but
people, yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool. Woody has got Nexon on the side of the car and blue stripes, and then the purple car.
I don't know who that was. That Toby?
No,
Maddie?
it was Maddie.
So let's finish the.
I know, but that's pretty cool. Anyway, so
Woody
beautiful
first,
Trent Fab chassis. Go on.
Toby Stacy second place, and third place Maddie Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie Moon.
There you go.
Pretty cool.
We'd like to get her on the podcast.
Another woman in
Another
racing.
female there. Yeah, that would be cool.
Gotta love it.
All right.
And moving on to 4,400, the Unlimited, the big dogs.
Yeah.
How many 4,400 cars were there in the field? More than 10?
2, 4, 6, 8. I think there was right about 10. Not more than 10, I would say.
Some of these, it's a big investment for.
Yeah, the Gomez's. Yeah, it was somewhere around 10.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 10, Bob.
Go with 10. So we have some local boys.
That'd be the butt, Bob.
First place, JP Gomez.
Yep, JP. He put on a good show, man. He was hauling ass. Hell in the mail.
Gomez brothers are definitely always entertained, and they're dominant. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, we got Raul won the KOH, and now JP's won
And Raul was there. He just wasn't racing. I don't know. Maybe he's just like, I'm done. I retired. Mic drop. Finished King of the Hammers. Did.
He's
yeah.
king.
Yeah.
He's king.
There you go.
He's
Mic
just
drop.
walking around with a
I'm out.
scepter and walking all good.
I gave him a little thumbs up. He didn't know who the hell I was, but I gave him a thumbs up. He smiled.
We've handled a king's scepter.
We have handled and fondled and cuddled with a king scepter.
Pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
So then second place is Paul Wolf of Paul Wolf Racing or Wolf Racing. So I guess he's more of a golf cart
Dude,
racer,
you look at his IG page and it's all golf carts, and then I don't know if he just got a seat in that car or Buddy's car. I don't know how that all worked out. So that's to be determined.
Right. And then third place, local boy, well, at least for the Sierra, local boy for Prairie City was Cody Addington.
Yeah, Cody. He had a good race. His car sounded good, man. He was just, yeah. There was a couple cars that
Red Dragon, right?
Yeah, the old Red Dragon, old Lauren Healy car.
Nice.
Still looking good, still cranking along. And
maintenance.
Yeah. And
race prep, hashtag race prep.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, that's unofficial, and we will stay abreast of the situation here as things change, if anything, and we can try and fill in the blanks.
Sure. Yeah.
So the Ultra 4 race is in May.
Yes.
The actual Ultra 4 race, and I was asking a lot of the guys, hey, you gonna race the Ultra 4? Well, I guess it's like they don't know yet, but they're assuming it's going to be like double the entry fee of what this NorCal race was.
Okay.
But the money's higher too.
We're going to camp, right?
But I want to camp. I want to just camp. I mean, there's a lot of cool places you can camp out there, and you're right there amongst everybody. So definitely want to make that happen. And I think that is the second weekend in May, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah, Ultra 4 race, Prairie City, the 14th, 15th.
The weekend before safety clinic.
It is the weekend before safety clinic. And there you go. Glad you brought that up, because I'm assuming it might be close to full now, but the registration is open for the safety clinic. Anybody that wants to do that. And that is the third weekend of May, which is the 21st.
Correct.
Which is also my birthday.
Oh,
Big
my
birthday.
God. Ooh, you're going to be 29.
So I don't know if I'm going to go or not to safety clinic. I don't know what's going on for my birthday yet.
What are you going to be 50?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That happened? Hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't happened yet, but it's getting there.
Holy smokes.
So
I'll tell you, my 50th was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. We did a nice party for you.
I don't remember it.
We were over here at Campo de Bache.
Yeah, it's no longer there.
It's not even there anymore.
It's called debauchery now.
Debauchery, yeah. But you can throw axes now, so maybe, yeah.
You can buy alcohol and throw axes. What could possibly go wrong?
Right. So anyways, to finish up the NorCal race that John Goodby put on there, so we were hanging out by the Hannah camp, and this guy goes by. James saw him with one of our patron shirts on. Our special shirts that we sent out. Like,
those the green ones?
Yeah, you can't buy the Army green with our logo.
Yeah, no, you got to be a patron.
And I go, oh, I got to go chase him down. So it ended up being Rob from Railtown 4-Wheel Drive Club.
Oh, okay.
And I go, hey, how you doing? He goes, oh, Jason, how you doing? You know, we chatted it up, and I guess Mike Klein was there, but I didn't see him, part of Railtown and former member of our club. I don't think he's a member of Esprit de Four anymore. I don't know. No, didn't pay his dues. He's out. And then Brian, that's also from Railtown, that we met. These guys were up at the Adopted Trail when we were finishing up.
When we were camping.
Yep. So they came by. So they timed it that our Adopted Trail weekend. They're going to do their Adopted Trail, and we're going to do our Adopted Trail that weekend together. So that'll be cool. So they'll all be back up there. But anyways, it was just cool, you know, and humbling to see somebody wearing one of our shirts and supporting the podcast. And
that's super cool.
Yeah. So thanks, Rob, for representing. And shout out to Railtown 4-Wheel Drive Club, which is a local club to, kind of that area. Tracy. It's like halfway between us and Prairie City.
Sort of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not halfway, but for me.
Well, not for you.
It's like 10 minutes away.
Yeah, for me, it's halfway.
Yeah. No, I'm sad I missed out on it. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, spring is a terrible time. It's a great time for the golf industry because everything's waking up. The golf course is looking beautiful. It's getting better and better. Unfortunately, we had a few staffing issues that required me not to leave.
Oh boy.
But whatever. I mean, but I'm not going to get into all the details of it, but things are getting better. And I plan to be at the Prairie City event in May, and of course I'll be at Safety Clinic
in May.
Unless, we're going to throw a party for you down there.
Well, yeah.
Throw a party. It might be a party of 3 because that's like that Saturday night everybody leaves. But
yeah,
whatever.
I don't know. We'll see.
I heard Chuck and Jim might be down there.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Right.
So, anyways, great race. Prairie City is actually a cool venue, and you can go out, just like Carlos said. He had his daughter out there, the weekend before.
Right.
On the track and wheeling. I mean, it's cool. It's just like KOH. You get to run trails that the big boys run.
And Carlos's rig is badass.
Yeah, it's
pretty
badass.
much point and shoot.
It's badass.
The buggy, full-fledged buggy.
Looking forward to getting out wheeling with those guys again. It was good to see them.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen them since KOH. Seems like forever ago. KOH wasn't that long ago.
It was 2 months ago.
Wasn't that long ago? Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I had a lot happen between.
Oh yeah, you had your neck cut open.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you need a haircut.
Getting close, not quite there yet. A little bit more. Get another week out of it.
I'm going to get a haircut tomorrow, I think.
Oh yeah.
So
you should get them all cut, not just a hair.
Well, I might get a mullet. I think I'm going to go back to the mullet.
Dude, I saw a guy with a mullet and wearing pit vipers, and I'm like, that is just not a good look.
Dude, have you watched any golf lately?
No, I haven't.
So mullets are in.
Are they?
On the PGA
John
Tour.
Daly's bringing it back, huh?
And I haven't seen John Daly on tour, but there are a couple of young cats on the tour right now that are rocking mullets, and I'm like, holy shit!
I thought they didn't allow mullets on the tour.
No.
Everything's gone to...
Dude, they're smoking cigarettes and drinking beers while they're playing golf.
Again, does John Daly?
Unless he's lost 75 pounds, I haven't seen him.
There's some great, videos. Was that TikTok? So somebody will, I got a couple people that send me TikTok videos all the time. I don't go through TikTok very much, and then you go to the next video, and it's like John Daly golf, because it's a golf video that somebody sent me, and there's some hilarious stuff. There's one where he's like, it seems legit, but he's like sitting in not a locker room, the grill, at a club with his buddies. And Donald Trump's on the phone. He's got Donald Trump on the speakerphone talking about, and it's like, dude, that's pretty badass. I mean, John Daly has no F's to give, and he's just sitting there, and the former president of the United States calls you. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool.
I mean, Trump owns golf courses, and John
basically,
Daly's a golfer,
it was, and the conversation was like, this current situation, state of the state, wouldn't have happened if he was still in charge.
Well, there you go. We're a non-political podcast.
It's a non-political podcast, but I found it highly entertaining.
So yeah, let's. So what do we drink?
Trump 2024.
This afternoon we drank a bunch of different bourbons. Or sampled.
You did. I've just taken a little sample. I had a lot of. So you were supposed to remind me something. What were you supposed to remind me?
Bourbon.
Dave Code.
Dave Code. Yeah, what did Dave Code?
Okay, so we were up there for the race in Tommy's house up there, and had a little fiesta Friday and Saturday night.
A little batch party.
Yeah, I cooked up. I don't know if it was grade 3. I'm going to go with grade 3 A3 Wagyu beef.
That sucks.
Fillets. That's what you missed out for dinner last night. Filet mignon. I cooked 30 filet mignon, and you don't ever want to screw up a steak when you're cooking it, but you really don't want to screw up. You don't want to screw up Wagyu. So Tom procured this somehow, some way. I'm like, Fugazi, this is freaking awesome beef, and it was the whole filet loins.
The big fat
out.
filet.
I carved them myself. Yeah, they were birthday cakes.
Oh, nice.
I carved them. on Friday.
A little pepper and salt.
That's all I did. Just a little, the Kinders. There's a couple Kinder seasoning I really like. It's a perfect balance, and just did that. So we prepped those Friday night. So they sat with the seasoning in the refrigerator all day Saturday. Saturday night, pulled them out, brought the steaks up to, almost room temperature. Let them sit out for a little while, and then. On his barbecue, he's got a gas barbecue. He's got several different barbecues, but the gas barbecue had this griddle on there, the stainless steel griddle. Got that sucker over 500 degrees. Seared the steaks on there, just like a minute and a half per side, and then pulled them off and then put them on. He's got a Traeger S smoker. It's called a Pit Boss. Okay. And it's actually, in my opinion, better built than a Traeger.
All right.
At least there's more metal in it. And it worked. It worked really well.
Okay.
And so then finished them on the Traeger, and we're having a good old time, and people are like, "Well, steak's not done yet. Yeah, because I just do the poke test. I just take my tongs and I just how does the steak release when I press? Is it firm? Then I know it's medium.
Anybody ask for well done?
No, nobody did. I didn't take any orders. So here's what I've done the last couple times. I've cooked that quantity of steaks, just like a KOH.
Yeah.
And
medium
this event,
medium rare.
Yep, it's all medium rare, and there's some mediums that I cook. And you can always cook a steak more. You can't uncook a steak. I haven't figured out that one yet. So I did. Yeah. So I had it all set up, and I did like 5 or 6 pretty rare. I mean, just like. Good rare, not like bloody blue rare, but
was Oli there?
Good rare, no, but Jesse was. Jesse likes.
Oh, he likes it rare.
Yeah, he likes to cut its horns off, wipe its ass, and walk it through a warm room.
Wow.
Yeah, that's rare. And so,
good vet can bring this back.
yeah,
to life.
exactly. A good vet could bring this back to light. I love that one. I will never forget that. That I actually was there and witnessed that whole thing, and the lady brought it over and said a good vet could bring this back to life, and she was right.
One of the best lines.
It still had a pulse. So, anyways, so I cooked up all this stuff, and then we 27, 28 people there, something like that. And so got the buffet line going, and then everybody came to me for steak. So I'm like, hey, how do you like, do you want more done, less done, what? So I handed out all the steaks.
Uh-huh.
And I sat there. I was right by, I still had the smoker going. And I said, hey, I told everybody, I'm like, hey, if it's not cooked enough, bring it back. We can cook it some more, Not one steak came back.
Oh, there you go. Well, Wagyu, come on, man.
Well, I know, but some people were freaking out. So, like, some people, when I was cooking them, they're like, dude, that's not done. That's not done. Because it's like almost a 2-inch thick cut.
Sure.
That I had.
And it's going to be pretty pink in the middle.
And I put one, I'm like, look at the pressure, here. Look at the resistance is like perfect for medium rare. And I cut it in half. Oh, dude, it was absolutely perfect.
Wow.
Not to pat myself on the back. I'm just saying you got to appreciate good beef.
No, I mean, and again, the filet mignon is the pièce de résistance.
But I still prefer a ribeye, a good ribeye over a filet. But
really?
Filet, yeah,
I love a filet.
I love the flavor of a ribeye. Give me a bone-in ribeye any day of the week.
What about tomahawk?
Well, that's a bone-in ribeye.
There you go.
That's that tomahawk steak was hey.
I love the filet mignon. I absolutely love. I love the fact that
it's my second favorite, but it's not as flavorful.
True,
but Wagyu,
it's leaner.
Wagyu's pretty freaking good.
Well, I gotta imagine what was the marble like on that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't a like I think A5 is like the best, and that's like just crazy, just webbing of the fat in the meat. And this was in between. It wasn't like minimal, but it wasn't that level. So that's why I think it was around an A3.
I was kind of expecting you to show up at my house with my steak.
Well, I might have some New Yorks in my truck right now.
Fuck.
Just saying. What's for dinner, by the way?
I don't know. What time is it?
And then my steaks are still frozen, so we can't do those. But anyways, so it was cool because I'm a bad influence on people, and a lot of our friends have become bourbon aficionados, and they bring all kinds of different bourbons. So Dave says, hey, I'm going to bring some stuff you haven't had before. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring some stuff you haven't had before. So we literally, and then Taylor went out and bought Lost Republic. Have you heard of Lost Republic?
Never.
It's like a bear with a fish in its mouth, and it's a bottle, a little short, fatty, kind of like the Hancock bottle here, just like a Blanton's bottle.
Never had it. Never even heard of it.
Dude, it's good. The bourbon's good. So he brought the bourbon and rye, 2 separate bottles, and I like the bourbon over the rye. I thought in my mind I already pre-programmed it because I've been gravitating toward rye, going, I'm going to like that rye better. But I tried the bourbon. I like the bourbon better. But yeah, I have that one. What are you showing me? The two bitches?
2 bitch bourbon.
Yeah, I have that in my cellar.
I want to taste it when we get to your house on Tuesday.
Why are you interrupting the podcast with that? Did you just had it or what?
I did not, but a friend of mine
sent it to you.
That's a whole nother side
Yeah,
story.
that's right. You just screwed up the whole podcast here.
No,
It's
I
gone.
didn't.
That's the end of episode 149.
No, it's not.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
Fuck. Derailed. So what did Code bring?
No, I didn't. All right, so Code brought a Nulu. Not one, but 2 Nulu.
Really?
Oh, wait. You're going to really be upset now.
Really?
Yeah, you're really going to be upset because you like the Nulu that Dave Taylor sent to us.
Really like that.
Yeah. Do you Nulu? You do Nulu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he brought a straight Nulu, and which I don't know exactly. I got to look at the one that
Does
Taylor
he have a Habib up there or something or what?
Dave Taylor. His was like a store pick or something, so it was like a single barrel, and this was like it was a high proof. It was like 100, I think, proof or something.
Well, the one Dave Taylor, all those were over.
I know,
proof.
good.
Hot.
Well, yeah, especially when you're doing single barrel typically. But I was like, oh my gosh, this is good. And then I'm like, oh, you got another Nulu, and the label's like exactly the same, but it just kind of like Old Elk stuff. It's just kind of subtle the differences of the label. It said toasted.
Oh shit!
Toasted Nulu.
Like the toasted Basil Hayden, but better.
Dude,
oh, come on, man!
It was so. Come on, man! It was so good, so good,
really,
so good, so good. Yeah.
Code, bring that to.
Well, I don't know if there's much left because I
really?
hit that one pretty hard both nights.
Was it like candy?
It wasn't overly sweet, and that's what I liked about it. But you definitely had that vanilla caramel bomb-esque right out of the gate, and very, very good. Yeah, so I revisited that a few times and we were just doing tiny little taste, and I'm like, okay. And then, try another one, and then I'd drink a bunch of water and like kind of get the palate back, and then like revisit it. I'm like, damn, that is still really good.
So how does it compare to the Basil Hayden toast?
Mucho better.
Really?
Yeah. And Basil Hayden toasted is good. Really good. That's what Horton brought, right?
Right, Horton.
Yeah, that's where we first tasted that at KOH. Yeah.
He busted that bottle out like the first night, and I'm like, dude, It
was really good. I need, if you find it, or if I find it, we just need to buy a couple bottles so we have that in the
this guy that showed me the two bitches. He lives in Gardnerville also, and
does he?
The reason I commented is because he posted he was barbecuing a tri-tip that he bought from Minden Meats.
Oh, perfect.
And I'm like, oh yeah, no Minden Meats. They have a great bourbon selection.
So is this a friend of yours?
Yeah, he's actually a cousin of somebody I used to work for.
Oh, okay.
And he's listening to the show now.
Oh, good. Well, you want to give him a shout out?
Hey, Ben.
Hey, Ben. How you doing? Welcome. I might be your neighbor soon. So, yeah, I have that bottle. That bottle you showed me in so are the two bitches.
And he says it's super smooth.
I haven't had it in a long time. I
crack that puppy open.
I didn't like it. I don't remember liking it right out of the gate.
Really?
But my palate's more refined now, so maybe
let's open it on Tuesday and drink.
It's already open.
Well, let's reopen it.
Well, almost everything in my cellar is available to you. So almost everything.
What did you bring to counter Code's claims
that he didn't have? So, Johnny Drum.
Well, we've had that. That's super good.
He hadn't.
Oh, he hadn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Johnny Drum. And good. I didn't get his reaction on that. I don't know if he had it. I mean, there was so many things going on, but we were chatting it up about some of that. Let's see. The one that they really liked, and I hadn't had it in a while. I bought it when it first came out, was Uncle Nearest.
I'm not sure I've had that.
Yes, you have. You've had it. Yeah. So the story with Uncle Nearest, it's a really cool story on many different levels. Uncle Nearest was the person that taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey.
Okay.
So deep lineage in the history,
deep dive
of the bourbon history archives.
Okay.
And then the other cool thing is woman owned, black woman owned. So it hit the market, and during all these times of this tumultuous times that we had back a couple years ago in America, and so came onto the market and just exploded.
Okay,
and it is very good. So there's probably more than 2 levels of it now, but I had the white label one, and then they had a purple label, and the purple label is like 100 proof, and they're higher end.
Okay.
And that's what I brought. I had like 3/4 of a bottle left when I brought it there, starting at the event.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, last night I went to go get some.
She gone.
And Dave really enjoyed that.
I bet.
And so
was he unconscious or
no? Dave, everybody did really well. There was a few casualties, but no, nothing too bad. So that was one, and of course the old elk was darn near gone.
Which old elk did you bring? Did you
just regular
blended,
straight, regular straight old elk, just regular old elk. Always a hit.
That's a huge hit. Always.
And
my older brother's got a bottle, and he's been hitting that pretty hard lately.
Really?
He's been like, I gave him a bottle of old elk for Christmas, and he's like, dude, this is good.
Yeah.
Really?
And another one that Dave brought that I hadn't had was, I think it was an 8-year-old, Wait Boone. Wait Boone.
Wait, like W-A-I-T?
No, it's W-A, yeah, exactly. W-A-I-T.
Boone.
Yeah,
like
Boone.
Daniel Boone?
Yeah, like Boone Road.
Boone Road.
Damn you, Boone Road.
Fucking Boone Road. I can't wait to get back to Boone Road.
I know. I kind of want to go back down there. Check that out.
Dude, let's go.
Let's go. They got a closure coming up.
Oh, for the military base?
Yeah, I didn't pay much attention to it because I knew I wasn't going back down there, but there was a...
We'll have to keep an eye on that. But
Yeah,
did you see that Cody planted a bunch of palm trees? He's got an oasis now.
Yeah.
I almost posted that could be a mirage too.
Yeah, exactly. Totally is. Man, yeah, I know what palm trees cost, and I know what transportation costs and planting cost, and it's like...
Dude, he's rolling in the dough. He doesn't even post pictures from his shop anymore. He just, I mean, I guess he does a few.
But he's selling stuff too. It's not like he's keeping, and that, that's one of the things.
Well, I've
noticed like some of my friends that have always had like nice things, but they don't keep them very long. They sell one nice thing to buy another nice thing.
He has a trophy truck now.
Exactly. He sold Porty Penny and his motorhome. Did he sell the motorhome? I know it was up for sale.
I don't know. Well, you buy it.
The motorhome and the stacker trailer was for sale.
I think Tommy should buy it. You or Tommy should buy it.
No, I do not have that. I'm not hashtag Chris Rich.
Shit, I can't even afford that.
Chris money. I don't know. That's just way out of my league.
He's looking to buy a helicopter. He has a trophy truck, so he has to get a helicopter.
He has to get a helicopter now. I that is a good call. That is coming. That's going to be a laser nut chopper in the air. So anyways, yeah, we got to taste some really good bourbons. So it's been fun that other friends have gotten into it and, seeking out the stuff. Hey, have you tried this? Have you tried that?
You're making us all go broke, Verde.
Well, you know what? Life's it's a short ride. You better make it a good one. So.
Well, you're broke. The rest of us should be broke too, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Just enjoy the ride, man. Enjoy the ride. Check it out. But it was nice. I mean, a couple people got over the handlebars, but nothing out of control. Too bad. But,
Well, to be honest with you, if I had gone up there, I seriously considered driving up for dinner.
Uh-huh.
But if I had gotten there, I wasn't going to drink. I was just going to have my steak, hang out for a bit, and then head home.
Oh, wow.
So, it worked out fine. I mean, it sucked that I couldn't go, but now all my eggs are in the same basket for going to the event at the end of April.
Okay.
And then, of course, things start heating up with the race in May, and then of course safety clinic in May, and then the fact that I have a second vehicle, so now I can throw the camper on the truck.
Yeah, and be ready,
and not have to scramble to fucking make things happen. Because that was the chaos that precluded or preceded getting ready for KOH. Is like drive home and then we freaking bombed again that whole drive. I mean, it wasn't as bad as that one time where we did the midnight run,
right?
But it was still, by the time I got to KOH and we pulled into camp, thank God we didn't have to do any freaking
right
COVID testing and all that nonsense.
Oh man.
But we arrived at 9:30, I think, at KOH instead of 11:30 the 2 years before. Whatever. I mean, it's just the older we get, the harder it is to do these freaking bomber runs.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the season kicking off. The Jeep is good. I'm going to do an oil change. I'm going to get a haircut tomorrow and probably do an oil change on the Jeep tomorrow. And if it's not raining, I'm going to slap that front driveline into the Ram. And I'll have to get my kid. Craig is looking for a job too. He's unemployed. Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Craig's still unemployed.
Oh, wow.
But I guess he's driving to Montana at the end in the first week of April for 10 days.
Nice.
Whatever. Do it while you're young.
Do it. 10 is beautiful.
The season. So, and then, I was kind of, this bounced into my mind with this drought, dryness, all this stuff going on with no precipitation, no snow. Have you heard anything about what potential closures are for the forest this year, this summer?
No, nobody knows yet.
God, I hope that doesn't happen.
Oh, we just got to see. It is what it is. You can't do anything about it. You can't change the weather.
Yeah, true enough. But we'll probably be able to do our adopt trail pretty early this year.
Well, who knows? We'll see.
Yep.
But, so what else? Oh, so we got to race at K1 Speed, the electric go-kart track.
It was electric, huh?
In Sacramento. Yeah, I'd never done the electric go-karts, and it's cool because the power, that instant torque's there, and you could power out of turns pretty freaking nice, and you don't have that clutch that, in the old days, back in the day, you would feather the brake, try to keep the clutch engaged, keep your foot down on the gas and just feather the brake to like slow down in corners.
Handle the torques.
Exactly. So with the electric carts, that just, you roll right on the throttle and off she goes. But the bad thing is since they are electrically controlled, they can regulate you. And you need
to be regulated.
They could shut down your car, and then, it's good and bad. And it's like, okay, when the race is done and, they slow down the carts and you go back in. Okay. But man, we had a blast. We had 13 of us. We didn't all get to race at once. I think they broke us up, 6 and 7, but,
did they do any breathalyzer tests?
No. We were all good. So we had a qualifier and then the main, and the first kart I had was significantly better than the second kart. The second kart had like a bent axle. It had a bad shimmy, man. It felt like I was, in a Toyota or a Dodge or something. It wasn't good. Ford. Yeah. Once I got up to speed and moving pretty good, it just kind of, it got a little better, but it was not as good as the first kart. But and then poor Ray was in front of me, and he
behaving and not ramming into you.
Well, there was some ramming going on, or I pushed Ray out a couple times. Well, his cart, so he was ahead of me, and I don't know if I think I was in second or third, and so. And when people pull away and you get clean track and you're smooth, you can maintain position pretty good.
Were you drafting?
No drafting. And so came in and all of a sudden Ray's like right in front of me. And I'm like, what the heck? There's no way I should have been able to catch him. He had a pretty good gap on me. And so I'm like, and then I was right on his tail. And then that's where I was drafting. I was doing a little shake and bake there. And then there was this one hairpin corner where you could to do it smoothly, you kind of had to take it wide and then dive in.
You drift?
But that's where you had an opening. Like if you were right on his tail, you could just push them into the wall and then pass them. So that's what I did. And then I got sideways and then he came out around me and passed me again. But then I was able to take him in the straight and I finished ahead of him. And I go, Ray, what happened? He goes, I don't know. They shut my cart down. And there was no reason to shut him down. It wasn't like he was ramming or anything. But it happened to one other person in our group too, where they the cart lost power and shut down partway through the race.
Bullshit.
It is high level bullshit. So
that's government regulation for you right there.
Anyways, it was fun. But Samurai James, out of 13 of us, ended up having the best lap time of the night. And I said, oh, well, that's easily explainable. That it had about the same horsepower as your frickin' Samurai, so you were used to that.
Yeah, but double the torque.
Definitely double the torque. But so it was fun times. I hadn't been in go-karts in years, and definitely not in electric, and it was good. It was a good time, and everybody was complaining how sore they were afterwards, from steering the cart. It's a workout. It's throwing you around pretty good if you're railing the course.
You get up to 70, 80,
40,
90?
45, which doesn't sound like much, but on a short, tight track. And there was a back turn and straightaway that you get up to max speed.
So, 80.
But then you come into a chicane corner and you had to,
chicane.
Yeah, and you don't. That's the other good thing with the electric. You let up and it had electric braking.
Dynamic braking.
Dynamic braking, yes. Because these are
basically golf carts.
If you even thought about tapping the brake, if you hit the brake significantly, it'd send you sideways. It was just, you don't even touch the brake on those things.
So can you 2-foot it?
No, because that's the other thing that sucks, is if you gave it gas and brake, it shuts off the electric motor.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so you never wanted to do that. So I actually kept my brake foot like up on the frame rail, so I wasn't even touching my foot was never on the brake.
So you got right foot gas, left foot. So you couldn't. You theoretically could 2-foot it, but you couldn't.
It would shut it off.
That sucks.
Yeah, no, it was that because I tried it right at the beginning because the guy said, "Yeah, you'll shut it off," and I go, "That's bullshit," and I did it, and I'm like, "Oh, nope, not doing that anymore." So immediately I kept my left foot on the frame rail, so it wasn't even touching the brake.
Huh.
And so I just kept foot. There was a couple times I had to hit the brake because coming into a corner with another car or something.
So another cool event that I missed out on.
That was another cool event you missed out on. Yeah, it was fun. So there you go. Well, I don't know what else. We talked about bourbon. We talked about go-karts. We talked about race cars.
So tonight we drank Willet.
All the people.
Woodford Reserve Double Oaked and
Willet Rye.
Willet Rye.
What you started
super good. 110 proof. Little hot, but it's like a vanilla bomb. And then the Hancock Reserve. Very good bourbons tonight.
Yeah, it's nice to see you open up your collection here for a change.
I'm not driving anywhere.
Yeah.
Of course, I was eyeballing that stolen whiskey up there. I haven't had that in a while.
Oh, interesting. Aged 11 years.
That one's a hottie.
Boy, that's got a lot of dust on the bottle. Talk about dust on the bottle. Dude, that one's dusty.
That's a hottie.
Is it?
It's a hottie.
How much? Let's see. Let me blow the dust off of it. I can see it. Shit. Oh, it's only 92 proof.
Yeah, but it drinks hot.
It says American whiskey, barrel finished with smoked oak staves. I don't remember liking this one, but I'm not going to try it tonight.
Not tonight.
We'll save that for the next one. Boy, you need to open a window. There's a lot of dust in the room right now.
Right? No, I mean,
you need to talk to your housekeeper.
Shit. This is some of this. Well, I mean, I don't have a freaking air conditioned and climate controlled freaking wine cellar.
No, my bottles get pretty dusty too because they're in the outside of the cellar and there's a lot of dust there.
But I did go wine tasting last weekend and I bought a bunch of wines.
Did you really? You stocked back up?
Well, Eagle Ridge is shutting down operations.
Oh boy.
Which in some regards I'm not heartbroken, but at the same time,
right.
Their Raptor is perennially a very good drinker.
You really like that one, yeah.
The Raptor's good, so I bought 4 bottles of Raptor. The proprietor and owner of Eagle Ridge he turned 77.
Yeah,
and he's just pulled the ripcord. He says, "I'm done. He's got grandchildren. They're in college. They're playing softball, and so he wants to just drive around the country and see his daughter or his granddaughter play softball." So good for him. That's. I'm going to give that to. I'm going to give that to Ira.
Yeah, that's another one. The orange spice brandy. That was from a local
Eckert.
Yeah, Eckert. That's right.
She gone.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I got nothing else. I mean, it's been a great episode. We kind of yammered on, but we covered a lot of great content.
I think it was really good up until you just threw that photo in front of me of the that bourbon.
Well, the 2 bitches.
Yeah, you broke my stride.
I broke your stride. Well, fuck it. Sorry, Dick.
If Lorenzo is here, he'll edit it out.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah,
I don't know. Lorenzo's been fairly useless lately.
No, he's doing okay. He's doing okay. He's okay.
You kept him caged.
He's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine.
Everything's
fine.
How's your neck?
Yeah, it's a lot better. It's crazy.
What's your pain level like? I've been meaning to ask you.
What scale? 1 to 10?
So, I mean, the tingling in your arm is gone?
No, yeah, I can. My left arm, it's unbelievable. I haven't been this pain-free and I can't remember how long.
Really?
Yeah. It's amazing how much you just adapt and, you're just like, oh, okay, just live with it. You're like, okay, and just another day, another painful day.
Uh-huh.
And, sleeping was the worst part before because it just wake you up.
So no more pain in your arm.
No, nope.
That's great.
It's like my arm's not even there. Yeah, and the neck's still, a little sore, but it's getting better and better every day. So it's very minimal pain right now.
What's the scar look like?
I don't know. You tell me. It's visible.
That's better than it was 2 weeks ago.
I guess I'm going to rub some vitamin E on it, and I don't know. I guess that'll help. But
just need to go lay out. Oh, vitamin D. You need
vitamin E. Vitamin D is sun.
Sun.
Vitamin E. That's what the doctor said. I don't know. I'm gonna rub it.
Okay,
Vitamin E.
I'll take your word for it. On that note, so this is Wheeling Wine Whiskey. If you want to get a hold of Jason or Chris, you can email us at Jason or Chris at wheelingwinewhiskey.com. Don't forget that Jason controls the IG at Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. And never forget that our phone is always ready to be voicemailed. You can call us at 408-800-5169. What's that number, Jason?
Thank you, Matt Foley, for calling in at 408-800-5169. And we are looking at Patreon.
Yes, let's talk about that for a moment.
Change that up here, working with Austin at Irate. Snail Trail is making the move in April.
That's correct.
And we're looking at making the move in May.
That's correct. So I just want to let everybody know that I have shut down the annual membership. So
nobody can sign up for annual anymore?
Nobody can sign up for annual membership anymore on Patreon.
Okay.
Because we are starting to prepare for the move over to Irate.
Okay. What about the other membership levels?
They're all still there. I mean, the monthlies, you can, if you want to sign up still, you can still sign up, or you can hold off and we'll be happy to take your money when we get over to Irate, which, like Jason just said, will be May 1st.
Okay. So, we're obviously working out some details, and but that's the direction we're heading. It basically, in a nutshell, it's a win-win. We view it as a win-win. The I don't know what we're going to call the new supporters.
We don't know what we're going to call them.
You know, the patrons, as we've been referring to, our loyal listeners and people willing to support the podcast financially, which we are super grateful for.
Absolutely.
So the money's staying within the community, which we think is very cool. And Austin's great, and we're going to have more features and options, and everything's just, it's better. There's a lot of pluses, and I guess we're going to keep the patron open if somebody feels more comfortable going that route. And that's fine, but we will be making the shift over to Irate 4x4, and just, try and make it as clean and easy as possible. But yeah, we just like supporting people that support us and support the four-wheel community, and Irate definitely does that. So
absolutely,
that's where our heads are at. And if you've got any feedback, good, bad, or indifferent, let us know. We'd love to hear it, because we've been having fun with this podcast, and people have enjoyed listening to it, and the banter and camaraderie and all the stuff with the other podcast, and we're just form of entertainment out there, just trying to do the right thing. So
when you have windshield time, listen to us.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we're also going to be doing a giveaway here shortly, so we'll announce that. We're going to announce that pretty soon.
That's right, but wait, there's more.
The's always more.
So yeah,
we give till it hurts.
We do give till it hurts here at Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. So yes, we got a cool giveaway. We will. Why don't we make that live on our? We'll have to figure that out. That's got to happen here, and for sure next month.
Yeah, for sure. So we're
coming up at the end of March. Let's make that the April giveaway.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I like that. Chris and I need to talk offline and figure out the details of it.
Fair.
But it's cool.
It is cool.
I have 2 of them now.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, very cool. All right. On that,
we're out.